Hi, this is Tim, fuck your mum, Hall, and today I'm starting my new series. This series is called, I've not thought of the name yet, let me think. It's called Life in Rotterdam. Life in Rotterdam. Just gonna keep it simple. I want to talk about my experience living here in Rotterdam. I've lived here since last October, so October 2020. I came over here and I'm in. I managed to get here before Brexit, which was about 2 months before everything changed. So I managed to get myself in, get myself work, get myself set up and all that kind of shit. And now I'm just enjoying it. It was a very stressful period of time at the start where I had to set myself up like from nothing. So here we are, and this is just around the corner from my neighbourhood. Some guys there. I don't know if they're happy about being filmed, but you know, like, just don't be so fucking selfish. This is fucking Tim Hall, you know what I fucking mean. Anyway, so this is where I live. This is Dalfshaven. It's a lovely part of Rotterdam. Some mad shit. People live in these boats, I think. This guy doing his bins there. Yeah, what can I say about the place, man? It's a very good culture from so far what I've experienced. A very nice culture, a very open culture, very friendly culture, very welcoming people. I see a lot of people expressing themselves, enjoying life, you know, like not giving a fuck, not taking life so seriously, man. Especially, you know, at the work where I work, there's a lot of people, people my age, people a bit younger, lots of lads. They don't give a fuck, but they're respectful, you know, like they're not stressed out, they're not acting like pricks to each other. Everyone's got a level of respect and a level of chillness to them, and I really respect that, and I feel like I fit into that box. So I didn't know what it was going to be like. You know, you hear things, you research before you go somewhere. Obviously, you try and find out as much information as you can about culture, but you're not gonna learn the culture until you're in the culture. It's not necessarily Dutch culture. I think it's just, I mean, it is Dutch culture, obviously, but you know, it's like the culture of, because it's very international, is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of international students here too, but you just get that really openness from everyone that's here, and a lot of people have. You see, what I realised that coming out of England, been in England for like 30 years, or 31 years or whatever, 30 years, and you only know England when you live in England. Like, you don't know that there's different ways of life, there's different ways of behaving, there's different attitudes, there's different ways to work, there's different systems, there's different levels of organisation and technology, and there's when I come here, you know, I learn about people's cultures because it's international. I meet international people. They've done the same shit. They've just jumped on a plane. They just come over. Like, they're studying, they're working. So many different people from different backgrounds, and you get to learn about their backgrounds too. And it opens you up, to different languages. Obviously, the Dutch language, especially, seeing as we're in Holland. But it opens you up to different languages, and it's also made me appreciate my language so much more, because I've realised that English is like a powerful language. It's the language what everyone wants to learn. So being able to speak it here, you can teach it other people because everyone speaks that language. But at the same time, I still want to like learn the Dutch language too, because I want to integrate, and I want to live here for a long time, and I want to be able to hear. I want to be able to communicate with Dutch people and listen to what the Dutch people are saying, because, you know, if you're like, say you're there sat there with like 4 Dutch people, they're gonna start talking Dutch to each other just naturally, you know. So I don't want to be, you know, just sat there kind of like left out of the conversation. Not that I don't feel any emotion when I'm left out of the conversation. I just think like what they're saying, like I wish I knew what they were saying, you know what I mean? And I try and listen to the words that they're saying. I try and stay engaged, even though I'm listening to just a load of so the neighbourhood's nice. The neighbourhood's really, really sweet. I've not experienced any crime except for bike robberies and shit like that. There's a lot, like, the thing is, right, you never see gangs, you never see street gangs. It's more common in definitely the north of England, but I'm sure the south as well. But you don't see kind of like, not to label people, of course, but like, you know, groups of like street kids like smashing things up, causing problems, like and you don't see a lot of crime and violence. You don't see violence. I've never seen violence. So streets are clean, stuff like this. But when it comes to bikes, you'll get robbed. Like, you will just get fucking robbed. Like, it's like you'll never see the thief, but they will rob the fuck out of your bike. Like, you could leave your bike unlocked, yeah, you could walk in the shop, come back, the bike's gone. Like, anything. Like, I had a bike robbed early on at the start. Fair enough, I left it unlocked, my own fault. But, you know, you leave it unlocked, like, it's just going to disappear. Like, you could just like unlock it, turn around, turn back, and it's gone. I also had a battery robbed out of my electric bike. So I've got an electric bike that I rent. That's my new form of transport. And yeah, I left it locked up, but they managed to prise the battery out of it. The battery's like locked in. They prized it out. Oh, sick, a Pokemon card. No fucking way. Shiny as well. Mud. That isn't one of the fucking Pokemons that I know of though. It's not from the originals. Popplio. That is an actual real Pokemon card. You just don't see that on the floor. You just don't see that on the floor in anywhere else but Rotterdam. Right. So yeah, they prized the electric they prized the battery out. And most nights I was taking the battery in, but I left the battery in the bike a couple of times by accident, and just got punished. I just got punished. The bike was locked up, luckily. But anything loose, does snatch it, mate. But apart from that, you don't see any kind of crime or anything like that. It's weird. So that's all I'm going to say for the first series. It's a bit kind of long, but just to put a little overview on it, it's a very open place. It's a very friendly place. The weather is quite unpredictable. I would say it's a bit hotter than England in the summer. The winters are very cold. You get a lot of rain. You get patches of heat though. We get like, this summer there's been like a good couple of weeks of solid sun, and then like maybe a bit of rain, and then some more solid sun for longer amounts of time. And that's when I really saw Rotterdam come to life, when the sun came out. Because when I came it was October, so I basically got there, spent a whole winter here, and then when the summer came I was like, fucking hell. It's like I feel like I'm on holiday just all the time. I just feel like I'm constantly on holiday. And it's weird because even though this place is like, it's just right next to England, it's very close to England, but when you come here it's just got such a European vibe to it. But it's also got, for me, the nature just really does it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like when the sun comes out and you just see the trees like this, it's like a tropical city. It's not tropical at all, but like it's the best city life you're gonna get, I think. I mean, I've only been to 2 cities, I've only lived in 2 cities, but it's because, like, obviously everyone likes nature, everyone wants to be somewhere where there's lots of nature, but if you like the city life, you like that vibe, busy city life, it's the two intertwined together. So long live it, long live Rotterdam. It's a very diverse, it's got I just like it. Bye bye.